Hello, it's the Coaster Craze, and I just came back from seeing the latest Star Wars spin-off. I'm talking about Solo, a Star Wars Story, which came out May 24th, 2018. I'm going to get right into my review with my first category, Direction and Visuals. So I think you can say I wore the perfect shirt to the theater. Anyway, so for Direction and Visuals, I think Solo, a Star Wars Story did a great job at blending like the two directorial styles. Like Phil Lord and Chris Miller were the original directors, and Ron Howard came in after them after they got fired. And I couldn't tell a difference between the movie of like who directed what, so I think it was very consistent. So that was great. I thought the shots were really nice, perfectly showed the action sequences and the dramatic conversations and whatnot. And plus, the cinematography was just beautiful. Some of the landscapes are just awesome, especially like the sand planet. I forget what it's called towards the end. And plus the action sequences, I was really hoping that this movie would just specialize in like the aircraft battles and the chase sequences because Han Solo's a pilot and all, and boy did it deliver. These sequences are just awesome. They're exhilarating. There's a ton of them. It's a very fast-paced movie with tons of action, and I love it. I think direction visuals is perfect. 5 out of 5 right here. Next up, I'll be discussing Solo, Star Wars Stories, acting and character development. Acting and character development is one of the things Solo, a Star Wars Story excels at completely. This movie, I was skeptical because Han Solo is probably the best character in all the Star Wars movies, and I didn't really want them messing with it. But somehow, I think they enhanced the character. I love like the character development throughout the movie. He moves a lot. He's insanely likable, but he has tons of layers as he goes from like a naive person to like more experienced, but maintains the optimism. He's just a brilliant character and so likable. Lando is great in it. Donald Glover plays him perfectly. I thought he was going to be in it a little bit more than he actually was, but he still played really well. Same with Alden Enderich. I didn't pronounce your name right, sorry. But he played Han Solo perfectly. I loved it. I thought Emily Clark as Kira, she was a really just a great character. She had a lot of layers and she developed throughout the film, and she had a very like dark like arc, and I thought that was great. It's very unique for Star Wars to have like such a great character because she's like the main love interest, but she's kind of a bad person too. So I thought that was brilliant. I think there's a lot of great side characters. Woody Harrelson was excellent. He had a really great character, super likable, but also complex again. These are just a lot of great complex characters. I thought L3, who's like the female droid that like helps out Lando, was a little annoying at times, but that problem was kind of taken care of quickly, and it wasn't that bad, so I'm not taking off any points for that. And overall, the acting was great. I think these characters, like I said before, they're awesome. The villain, Paul Bettany, he was great. I love him. He's a great actor as Vision and stuff. And he can play a villainous role perfectly, too. He's menacing. He's, like, likable in, like, this kind of, like, creepy way. Overall, this movie just had some great acting and a great cast, and these characters are very layered with great development. So perfect 5 out of 5 again. The final category before I reveal the overall score are the story elements, plot, pacing, script, and theme. I'm going to start right now with plot. So the plot of this movie is kind of like a little wishy-washy in a way, like how it's like a bunch of like reversals back and forth because they're smugglers, so there's kind of like they trick each other and like there's double crossings, a lot of that. And sometimes that can get over repetitive, like in a way because it's trying to be so unpredictable, it gets predictable, which I don't love. I'm going to get more into the predictability of it when I talk about the spoilers, but I think that's not a great thing. But overall, the plot I thought was still really solid. I think it was a great origin story, how it shows him, on the planet of like when he grew up and just like showing him like at the end of the movie. There's so much development there, and the movie really goes places, so I like that there's a lot of plot. It's not just like a bunch of lagging around and stuff. So I think that's great how it has an action heavy plot and it moves around a lot to a bunch of different planets, but it can get a little like jumping back and forth, the double crossing sometimes. Then with the pacing, like some people were saying it starts off too slow. I didn't think that at all. I thought it had a great fast pace from the get-go, but I thought like towards the end it started to get a little bit too abrupt and stuff, and like they did some like plot choices that I thought were just a little bit too like manipulative of the audience and kind of were a little too sudden and like jolted me a little bit. I didn't think that was great. So I think if they made the movie a little bit longer in that third act, which is often where these action movies struggle a little bit. It could be a little bit more even pacing throughout, because I thought I had a great, pretty fast pace throughout, but it got a little too fast towards the end. And then with the script, I thought occasionally there'd be a conversation or some lines that didn't make complete sense or didn't sound completely right. But overall, I think this movie has an excellent script. Probably the funniest Star Wars movie for sure. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I'm sure, brought a ton of their humor to this movie, and it is very hilarious. I would say almost all the jokes, if not all of them, landed, at least with me. I was laughing a lot. I thought they were great. Then the movie also has great drama too. I think the movie is very tonally balanced, which is impressive with these movies that are like action, comedy, and drama. Because I thought it balanced like the comedy and drama really nicely, going back into these really deep, like dramatic conversations that really conveyed the theme well. And there was a bunch of themes here, but I think like one of the big ones is just like the optimism of how like you need someone in like life and stuff, and how like these people, like these smugglers, they always like say trust no one, but sometimes it's great to have this optimism that like there's someone like you love out there, which is what Han Solo retains throughout the film, what makes him a character that all the fans just love. And I think you'll love Han Solo even more after this movie. So I think this category is a little bit of a mixed bag, but overall it's pretty good. So I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 for plot, pacing, script, and theme. And now I'm going to go into my overall score. First, I got some spoilers. There's going to be a spoiler tag at the bottom of the screen. When it goes away, that means there's no more spoilers. So, first off, with the plot, the ending, I thought it would have been perfect. As you know, like how like most Star Wars fans know that Han Solo gets the Millennium Falcon from winning a game, like a card game against Lando and getting the Falcon. So I thought it'd been perfect if it just ended with like when Lando asked, "Do you want a rematch?" and then just or like Han says, "I want a rematch," and then just ends right there. That'd be perfect. You don't need to show the whole card game again. I thought that was just very like drawn out and kind of annoyed me a little bit because I love when movies just have that perfect like bam, that snap ending, and like just like it's inside for fans who know like how Han Solo is gonna get the Millennium Falcon, and you know that he's gonna win that card game. That would have been perfect. But instead they drawn it out a little bit. I was a huge fan of that. And then also I thought like it was really great though how like how it ended. I think it was a very unique and a risky choice that I think paid off for me at least. With how like Kira, she ends up like choosing the dark side kind of, which is very interesting. It's very different from most Star Wars movies, and I appreciate that. I like variety. I like unique choices, and it was interesting. He doesn't get the girl then, but it's a great love story, and like how like the love story doesn't work. I thought that was smart. The ending overall, and bam, that Darth Maul cameo. I don't know if it like maybe people would be it's a little too contrived, but I thought that was pretty awesome. I was like, whoa! I didn't expect that to be seen there. And I was glad to see Darth Maul in another Star Wars movie because I think he's a character that was not used enough. And I'm excited because I think this movie's gonna have some like sequels to it. I'm excited to see how Kira and Darth Maul develop a relationship and how that's gonna affect Han in the future. I want to add also they did a great job with Chewie. I'm out of spoilers by the way. Chewbacca they did a great job with. He was super likable. I love how they developed the relationship between him and Han and how they first meet. It's awesome and brilliant. So for its overall score, I'm giving Solo: A Star Wars Story a 4.25 out of 5. I think this is definitely one of the best Star Wars movies. I don't know why it's getting only 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it is kind of underrated by critics right now. I really appreciated the movie. Yes, it has its flaws, but it also has tons of pros. It does the character development awesome, has great direction, the visuals and the fight scenes, and overall this is just a fun Star Wars movie. It's very rewatchable, perhaps the most rewatchable Star Wars movie. I think even more rewatchable than Force Awakens. I love this movie. I can't wait to see it again. Tell me in the comments down below your opinions on Solo: A Star Wars Story. Like and subscribe for more awesome film content from Film Frenzy, and stay tuned for a Star Wars ranking video coming soon. See you guys later. Bye.